Hi, welcome to Delicate Dark Girl. As you know, we're going to do my mother's favorite makeup in this series of 30 days of makeup. One of the looks is going to be a surprise, but today's look, I don't know, maybe that video goes up first. I don't know. Today's makeup is my mother's favorite makeup, as in her own makeup. Meaning I'm going to start from the beginning and do my makeup the way my mother did. Probably up until I left for college, and then after that she changed. She didn't put blush and eye makeup on anymore. She only did lips and foundation. So I'm gonna do prior to that when she did the full shebang. Starting with a washed face. Now her skin prep was actually very minimal, but her skin was flawless. From an adult point of view, because I asked her when I got older, what do you do to keep your skin so clear? And she said, I put Vaseline on my face in the morning. I put Crisco on my face at night. So we're going to start with Vaseline. This is like a hospital tube of Vaseline. She didn't use primer or anything. And I think, I don't know, Vaseline was her primer. I'm actually going to put some on my lips because the last couple days, since it's been kind of cold, Vaseline's really been doing the thing. And because she did it too. Vaseline, done. Now we're going to do the base. She didn't really do eyebrows, but I kind of want my eyebrows to look like hers. So I'm just going to shape them up the littlest bit. She didn't fill her eyebrows in later. I think she used to fill them in with a pencil when I was really little. I'll have to check with my sister. My older sister would remember a bit more. Yeah, they're a bit more angled, right? So now we're just going to comb them into place. Moving on to her foundation. Now, as you can tell, this is a well-loved foundation. I use Q's 550. She actually helped me find my color. This was the first foundation I ever used. So her color was Q545. And I put her foundation all over my face, secretly. I just went to the bathroom and did it. And then I came out. She was sitting in the living room, and the bathroom faces the living room. I went, ta-da! With a face full of foundation. I worked so hard in the bathroom. Pop, 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 pop. Like I watched her do. And she just went, oh, good job, Marford. I said, but that's not your color. We'll go find your color. And I remember thinking, hey, she liked it. And then I remember thinking, what? We're not the same color. Anyway, as you can tell, I love it. This is my mother's ace in the hole foundation besides Black Opal. When I was starting makeup, I'd use the brands that she used because those are the brands I knew. In my formidable years, I saw Black Opal, Black Radiance, and CoverGirl Queen collection. Ta-da! Skin done. We're not going to do concealer because she didn't do that. However, what she did do was dab at her face with a tissue after she finished doing foundation. So we will do that. Some toilet tissue here. And she would just... I guess to dab off any excess that didn't just get right onto the skin. I have a dry patch right here, so don't mind that. She never had those. I actually like that. So then what we're going to do is do her eye makeup now. And she was a fan of purple eyeshadow. That's the only color I remember her wearing from when I was little. And she used the little sponge that came in the palettes that she had. I don't remember what palettes they were because she used a blush and she used an eye shadow. I don't remember whose palettes they were. Popping in just to say that part, I don't remember which brand it was, but I do remember her eyeshadow sets were always in a quad. So they were like, you know, that little thing of 4. I remember that much. But I'm going to use Absolute New York because it has very similar purples in it. And then I'm going to use Juvia's Place Zulu palette for that purple on my cheeks. But I'm going to use my finger because I don't have the little sponge applicator. I don't know where it is. They all come with one, but they're all missing. We're going to go in with the darker purple first. This one has a bit of shimmer. Hers were, I mean, not shimmer, satin finish. But hers were like that too. And what she would actually do was kind of go from the bottom. I'm going to tap it in, but you know, she had a little sponge and she would just swipe. Not a lot, but enough so that you would notice the purple. We're going to put this one, take it a little higher up. Like my older sister, they have similar eye shape. She had hooded eyes, so she would take it up as far as her brow bone, which, you know, comes out. So what I'm going to do is just take it just above my crease. So that'll be almost the same, right? Okay, so now we've got the base. Oh, that's a very similar color. That's a very similar color. And now we're going to take the other purple, and we're going to use that as the accent, because she usually had about 2 different purples on her eye. We're just going to make it more purple down here. Look at that. I like that. I like it. I like my mother's makeup. She's the reason I wear makeup. And I wanted to look like her so bad. And no one ever told me I looked like her. That was the bane of my existence, yo. Like, I don't know. I wanted to look like her and no one would tell me I looked like her. Anyway, eyes done. I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. Here comes the blush. Now, since my mother was a budding adult in the 80s, her fashion choices were, you know, really influenced by, like, Jet magazine in the 80s and stuff. So, her blush wasn't solid purple. It was that 80s purple, you know what I mean? So it was more kind of like the eye. And honestly, maybe we should put, but it was like a lighter tone. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix this one and that one, and I'm gonna do it very lightly. Now this is my mother's makeup back in the day, okay? We're 80s babies. So there's a little bit of purple and a little bit of pink. And so we're gonna go right up the cheek like that. You know what I'm saying? That 80s swipe. So it's like right up into the temple. There we go. Oh. Yes. Correct. Correct. That's more the color. That's the color. That's the color we're looking for. Okay. So now that your temple has followed your cheek into purpledom. Boom. And once again, we're going to blend into all oblivion. When I was little, she actually wore quite the amount of blush. Like, that was her jam. And I loved it. I was so into it. Like, that's the one thing about the 80s that I know people hate, but I'm actually really into that. So, anyway. And this color, it's not the same one. I put it on and I showed her, and she was like, "Ha! I used to have a lipstick just like that." And I was like, I knew it looked familiar. Anyway, she used to just do an easy swipe. That's it. That's it. No more. And then, with this easy swipe, she had the nerve to dab. So we're just going to take another bit of tissue. And we're going to place it in between our lips. And dab off the excess. There. I guess my mother wanted to be as natural as you could with purple. Then, just the tiniest bit of mascara, which she also did with the lightest touch. She had longer lashes than I did too. Oops, I'm already putting on too much. Oh, stop my bang. That was me. I put on that much mascara. Anyway, and we're done. My mother's makeup. That only took 24 minutes for real. Yeah, my mother was a fan of getting in and out of the door. But the thing is, she was always late. I honestly think it's cute. So, my mother's favorite makeup, complete. Bye.